Doesn't look like it. Maybe. Oh, no, never mind. I remember in the original, the credits didn't actually show up, to my knowledge. But I actually ripped up... I should do a tutorial, because I actually kind of figured out how I can rip the FMVs from a PS2 game. That's the reason why this one was delayed so much, because I just really didn't know how I was going to do it. And finally, I decided, you know what, I want to do this, because these videos are kind of is what keeping me from playing Rebirth. Because I feel like I have to get these done before I can continue onward. It's just sort of like a kind of putting things in perspective a little bit. Oh, and also it should be noted this is the first This is the first, you know, in this one we get to see the Swordians in their human form for the first time, and that's carried over into Destiny 2. I mean, the Destiny PS3 remake somewhat. Just kind of slightly. It's really only really only hold on. Daimlos or Daimlos or whatever, and White Wolf Team. This is actually, I think, the last time the term Wolf Team is used. Then it kind of just becomes either Team Symphonia or Team Destiny, and that's really just a label. I mean, at that point, like, it's just Namco Tales Studio, and now they're kind of dissolving into Namco, so like now they're just kind of just one big entity where Namco themselves actually developed Tales games. Because a lot of people don't actually know that the Tales games aren't developed by Namco. They're actually technically outsourced. I mean, albeit outsourced to a branch of, or not really a branch, but another part of Namco. But they're still sort of like a separate group. Until recently where they kind of merge. Real quickly about Judas, before I forget. I feel like, I don't know, a lot of people don't really like him as much as Leon. I don't know, I mean, yeah, the mask, kind of tacky, but, I mean, it can break if you get his mystic art. Majin Rengoku Satsu, or Infernal Suffering, as it's called in the English version of Radiant Mythology 1. Another game that's going to be kind of hard to record. Or hard to get footage for. But, I also feel like people don't really like Judas that much. I think I almost said Judith. Because Judas, his personality is such... It's kind of different from Leon a little bit. I mean, yeah, he's still a jerk, yet at the same time, he's also kind of mellowed down a little bit. He's not as angry as Leon. He's not as egotistical, I don't think. And he seems a little more emo. Like, I think he did the emo thing before Kratos, personally. Like, I honestly feel like Leon, as a character, wasn't really that emo. I feel like Judas is more emo. Just because of, you know, he wants to kind of redeem himself for betraying Stan, and he's doing that through Kyle. And Judas, you know, he's also the first character in the Tales series to be sort of like that kind of older character, like almost like a mentor to the protagonist, where they kind of know everything. So throughout their journey, the characters are constantly like going to Judas, or either the Judas or the Kratos or whoever else, to kind of like figure out where do we need to go next. And in later Tales games, it's split into two to three people, and sometimes even the protagonist. But as far as I can remember, so, you know, Judas, I feel like people don't really cut him enough slack, because, I mean, you know, he betrayed his friends. I mean, most people who betray their friends usually don't really feel bad about it, and yet Judas does. He feels legitimately bad about it, and he wants to make up for it, but he can't because Stan is dead. And so he uses this time to, he uses Kyle to kind of make up for things, so he helps Kyle in his journey. Produced by Namco, as if we didn't know who made the games. I swore when I first played Symphonia for the first time, I swore it said Ubisoft. CGI cutscenes. This is the same thing as the original video, where the anime cutscenes were first, but the CGIs were near the end. I think I might have been I said the Destiny scene wasn't in there, though I might have been mistaken. It might have been at the end. I can't remember. It's been so friggin' long. Like, it's been, like, forever. But, yeah, Judas, you know, I think you guys should cut him a little slack for all you haters out there, because, one, he's trying to make up for his quote-unquote sins, and two, he's not as much of a jerk. That's kind of why I like him a little bit more, because, and I feel like, you know, he kind of puts his past self in perspective, but, you know, and, you know, as you can probably guess, time is restored, so Ston never died, and Barbados never really existed, and I think they kind of do the same thing with Elrain. But with Judas, he actually disappears. However, his helmet is still around, so it's sort of like a symbol of, like, kind of, I guess, Judith. I keep wanting to say Judith, I don't know. I think it's because my mouth is kind of dry. But it's kind of like a remnant of Judas, I guess, even though it's technically not a remnant. If they're restoring time and they go back to, like, that first day. Of course, Ston comes back, like I mentioned. I swear in his dialogue in the epilogue thing, his voice sounds lower. Like, I think, did they get a different actors? Like, I'm pretty sure his voice was higher than that. I mean, yeah, he hasn't done the voice in a while, but at the same time, you know, he's gonna like play the same voice like over and over and over again. Tomokazu Seki. Ston is probably his most known role, though there's also Gilgamesh in the Fate series, Fate Night and Fate Zero, and other things. I think he could pull off a good Goku, but that's only if Masako Nozawa doesn't make it, which I hope she stays around for a while. Overall, I personally like this game. It is short, so you can see that in like a negative thing, as in it's not going to give you that much to do story-wise, but on the flip side, it's a short game, so if you're just trying to play through it, then that won't take too long. Like, I think I finished it within like a few weeks or so. And the game is also hard, sort of. I mean, the game kind of, you have to use a little more strategy in this one than you had to do any other, and a lot others. Mainly the Destiny ones, you have to use strategy, in my opinion. But, you know, and magic does come into play, so having magic or having people cast magic, that's definitely useful. And having weaknesses available, that's also useful. Though, in hindsight, I feel like I may have accidentally, when I was messing around with the controls, just to kind of see what everything did, I think I might have accidentally put the game on the second difficulty, because I remember the second time I played it, due to the file corruption, the game seemed oddly easier. And yes, you could say, well, you're a Tales veteran at this point, so, but still, you know, if a game is actually legitimately hard, like Demon Souls, Dark Souls, like Legendary Super Warriors, or even Soul Calibur 3, then, you know, or not really Soul Calibur 3, but, or, yeah, never mind. But usually if you found a game to be really challenging and you just kind of barely beat it on your first try, there's a chance that you might not, I don't know. Basically what I'm trying to say is, I wasn't expecting to be better. And maybe I was, but at the same time I suspect that I put the game in the second difficulty by mistake. I also remember that I beat the game at like level 50-something. And before the file corruption thing happened, I was trying to get all my characters to at least level 60. still need to play through Judas's arena mode so I can get his extra weapon. We should be almost done. This video has been going on for like 25 minutes. Close to 26. So, you know. I kind of just have to, you know. One other thing I need to mention is the skits in this one, they repeat. They're not like in other Tales games where you get a new skit and then like it shows new, then you use it, then it either goes away or it kind of blanks out. They are just you can literally just keep pressing select over and over, and like you'll get like new skits, but they'll also like start to repeat. And I remember the first time I did that, and I remember I ended up screwing up my Goku controller. Like the select button wouldn't work. Uh-oh, I'm out of time. Well, I gotta go. See you later, guys. Bye. Bye.